All right, what's going on, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know. Predictions and Chandler. I've seen some of the Chandler stuff. I have not seen all of it. I don't really feel like watching it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Dude saying he wants to fight. He's got his eye on the BMF title. Dude says he has his eye on the BMF title. What a bomb. We have Asu Almabayev out. And now I believe it's Charles Johnson versus Brandon Moreno, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. We have Chandler saying he wants to fight. I mean, what is going on? But I know I got to get on my predictions. I just haven't felt. I was busy. Haven't felt like it. You know, the same routine of excuses. We got Priscillo Cachoeira versus Claudia Segula. Muin Gaffarov versus Jacob Wiklax. Kong Wang versus Edwara Mora. Saeed Nurmagomedov, Javid Basharat. Bruno Brazil, Ketlin Vieira. Ketlin Souza, I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself there. But yeah, I'll work on that. Hopefully the predictions will be out tomorrow. It just sucks. The UFC's kind of dead right now. It just really sucks out. Did a stream yesterday, no video. Doing a stream today, no video. I'll get back on my grind tomorrow. To be honest, part of me just wanted to go to bed and not even jump on tonight. It was already late. I gotta get on earlier. But I just can't help it. Shit happens, so it is what it is. I don't know if there's any other news that I missed. Yeah, I think it's pretty much the Asu Almabayev thing. Hope you're doing well. What do you think of the London card? I think the London card's decent. I love the main event. Love the main event. I want to know when we're going to get a card that we really need to look forward to. Does anyone just want a card to look forward to soon? Those are the best times. Let's go. Will you make a video about Mavsar versus Evil? You know, you're right. I should have. For some reason, because of the time that it got dropped, I did not. I actually need to. Let me take a look at the full card again. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I guess it was just a weird announcement, and I was like, it's not that huge of news. I mean, the card's just dog shit, though. That's why. It's because the card is, it's decent. Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell, co-main event. Is that a fucking joke? I mean, yeah, it's the main event doing all the heavy lifting. But the Michael Venom Page, Sam Patterson fights, mildly interesting. Christian Leroy Duncan, Roman Dolidze is mildly interesting. The main event's doing all the heavy lifting. That's the reality. That's the reality. You can say it's one of the worst cards ever. I do understand where you're coming from. Maybe I'll do a video on that real quick after this. It's not great. Maybe my expectations are being lowered. It just sucks ass, man. But the main event's so good. I love the main event. That's all I really care about. The main event on that one. 19-0 versus 17-0. Mavsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy for the uncrowned featherweight title. Where's the channel? I knew some of you guys were going to say that. Main has event. No, how does the main event have a potential to be a snoozer any more than any other fight? Mavsar, every one of his last 4 fights have been the best fight on the respective cards. UFC London is a Cage Warrior show with a banger main event. That's the gist of it, brother. You're 100% right. The fuck, man. You're 100% right. It's a Cage Warrior show. With a banger main. I could do a video of that and talk about UFC Mexico City as well. Moreno versus Charles. Oh, wait a second. Is Moreno Charles Johnson the main event? Is that the main event? Is that the fucking main event? Ooh. Ooh. I mean, this just goes to show how fucking stupid some of you guys are. Mavsar Aljo wasn't top 5 fight on 300. Bro, do some research before you make statements like that, Chase. All right? Forgot to take you out behind the shed. Paddy's low IQ. Paddy's a bum, bro. He's begging for rematches that he doesn't deserve. Dude, you're shit. You're absolute dog shit. Mavsar's going to make it boring. All his fights are boring. Dude, you don't watch his fights. His fights were his last 4 fights were arguably the best fights on those cards. Who the fuck's fighting Brandon Moreno then? I forgot then. Asu's out. Who's fighting Brandon Moreno? Someone tell me. If Charles Johnson's fighting Bruno Silva. I got it mixed up. I just saw it briefly earlier. It's probably not updated on Tapology. All Paddy had to do was take the back once. He sucks. Fans are wrong about Mavsar would be cool. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the video about the London card. Loner Kavanaugh is stepping in against Moreno. And then Charles Johnson stepping in to fight Bruno Silva, correct? UK privilege. Some more UK privilege. I like your take on Chandler. He is still hopeful for the Conor fight. He's hoping for it. He's got his eyes on the BMF now. He's got his eye on the BMF. Can't believe Chandler made us think Paddy was good. He didn't convince me that Paddy was good. I know that may look like I'm wrong, but he gave me enough. Go look at the UFC 300 card right now. Oh my God, bro. Chase, I want to call you the R word right now, but I try not to use that word. I really do, bro. You're a fucking idiot. This motherfucker, why don't you go look at the 300 card, bitch? Why don't you go look at the fucking 300 card, you dumb fuck? Go look at the 300 card right now. Why don't you fucking take a look at it? Why don't you fucking take a look at the UFC 300 card, you bum? MVP loves to fight cans when he's actually really good. MVP is all right. Chandler is a PMF. He's a BMF, but another B. He's a PMF as well. To be fair, Paddy took a proper 5-round beating. What is that supposed to mean? Gilbert Burns is up on a 4-fight losing streak, moving up 2 spots. Rankings make it make sense. Shavkat has got pulled out of the rankings. Shavkat got pulled out of the rankings. What did I misspell? What did I misspell? Mavsar, the uncrowned champ. Agreed. Agreed. Delusion spelled correctly, isn't it? Chandler Delusion. They still have Colby ranked. Hold up. Wait a minute. No, the fuck they don't. Hold up. Shavkat Rakhmonov removed from the welterweight rankings, yet Colby Covington Colby's last fight was around the same time, right? But there was only one. Who's fought essentially. That's crazy. And look at Colby's last few wins. Jorge Masvidal, Tyron Woodley, who hasn't won a fight in 4 years. Yet Colby Covington is still in there. Hasn't fought in over a year, and last win was damn near 4 years ago. Let me do something real quick. Oh. I mean, that's crazy. All right, hold on. Don't you hate when you misspell a word and it doesn't autocorrect it? Let me make sure I spelled this correctly. Sometimes I spell a word correctly that I always misspell, and I start to question it. White American privilege strikes again. That ought to get him. Okay. Where was I at? Shavkat Rakhmonov gets removed from the UFC welterweight rankings, yet Colby Covington is still in there. Colby hasn't fought in over a year, and his last one was damn near 4 years ago. White American privilege strikes again. Boom. Facts. Area boys have Habib above Volk on the GOAT list. I mean, GOAT's opinion, man. Thank you for the $2. KJW. I don't mind it. I think Habib has a bit of like... Damn, I didn't even notice that. I missed the T. You could have said that. You could have led with that. Habib would smoke Volk. Agreed. Joe, why doesn't the UFC do press conferences across the world anymore like they used to? Because they don't care. They're checked out. But yeah, KJW, that's not that insane. I don't really take the GOAT list too seriously. I don't take the GOAT list too seriously. And I don't think you should either. Thank you for the heads up, bro. I thought you were saying Delusion was spelled wrong. I didn't see it. I just briefly looked at it. Volk would beat Habib. He's not getting controlled. You crazy? Habib would TKO Volk, even in his prime, badly. Habib in his prime was crazy good. Yeah, Chandler is the DMF. Yes, I did notice Paramount did better, and we got to see more walkouts. I'm happy they did that. Shavkat retired. Imagine if he did. I told you he's been retired in my book for a while. He's been retired in my book for a fucking while. It's just the sad reality, man. It really is the sad reality. It makes me sick to my stomach, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do. Shavkat Volk would... Okay, that's a little bit crazy. Habib would beat Volk, however, his heart desired. However, his heart desired. Agreed. Chad has no ball knowledge. What are you talking about? You exposing Guru really got him. He barely uploads and refuses to say your name. Dude, he used to talk about me all the time. And I used to just never mention him because I didn't care what he had to say. I think he's a weirdo. I do not think I got him to not upload. I mean, I'm sure he's uploading. People were saying he fucking was talking about Diego. I mean, what's that, 2 days ago? Saying Diego got robbed. That's the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard in my entire life. But it is what it is. Dude's probably living life. Dude's probably out there living life. I don't know if me exposing him brutally and humiliating, like, what was that, like 4 or 5, 6 months ago, something? I don't even remember when that was. If Alex is scheduled to fight Gane for the heavyweight title, then they need to do a table interview with him sitting across from each other. Dude, I kind of hope they do Waldo versus Gane. That's what I want. That's what I hope. Joey did 1v1 wreck Guru. I did, man. Anybody, even if you're big fans of him and you like him and you hate my guts, you know I did. And the thing is, that's why I didn't care anything they said. I knew what I did. And it wasn't about garnering any clout. People can say what it was. It wasn't about any monetary gain. It was about me speaking my mind. That's just the way I've always been. It's just the way I've always been. And the way I always be. If I got something to say, I'll fucking say it. I'm not worried about anybody. I'm not scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody. You saw Chandler's CBS interview? No, but I got messages about it. The private negotiations, there was none. That's funny. What's the update with Aspinall's eyes? He's just crying like a little bitch. I could have easily made a video on that. It's a good week to skip predictions. Yeah, I don't like skipping predictions if I don't absolutely have to. I'm going to a couple times this year, and there's no doubt about it. The UK bomb got wrecked by Joey, but he did a good job exposing. Okay, whatever. Take the Volk fight was a rare L. I didn't believe it. People were telling me that shit. People were telling me that he apparently thought Diego won. That's fucking delusional, man. That's crazy. Was that fight even close? But it is what it is. Joe, why doesn't the UFC do press conferences across the world anymore? They don't care. It's too much money. They don't want to spend the money. I already answered it, Robin, but you must have missed it. But I'll gladly answer it again for you, a long-time supporter or a decent amount of time supporter. They don't care to. It's too much money for them to fly the fighters around, set up all the logistics for it, plan it all out. It's going to cost them a good chunk of money, and they don't want to spend that money. They don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. If you're familiar with that expression, that's exactly what it is. I've seen morons doing reaction videos talking about Diego was robbed. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. Chandler will be waiting in the White House ballroom hoping Conor comes looking for him. Yeah. Chandler will be at a Kid Rock concert hoping Conor shows up. Yo, Chandler's under 50. Is there anyone else with more losses than wins who speaks so much about without being embarrassed? Dude, why doesn't Chandler ever shut the fuck up? That's the real question. Like, dude, are you a fighter or are you a fucking podcaster? Shut your fucking mouth, man. You're annoying as fuck. Is anybody even watching this shit anymore? Let me go see. Michael Chandler. I don't even think anybody's watching this shit. Watch. 3.3K views on his recent interview on MMA Junkie. Let's see if I can find the CBS. CBS 1.7K views. Nobody even gives a fuck about Chandler. Nobody genuinely even gives a fuck about Chandler. Michael Chandler promises to steal the show at the UFC White House. Dude, this obsession is wild. Yeah, Chandler doesn't even get any YouTube views. He gets no personality. Are you going to watch the Kid Rock Super Bowl halftime show? I'm going to be honest. I saw some shit earlier tonight that made me feel weird as fuck. I don't know what it's from, but it's some political like rally shit. And it's Kid Rock singing in front of a bunch of like old people. And he's like, now put your fist in the air and go Trump, Trump. And that shit made me feel so fucking weird. That I retweeted it. I said, this cringy ass cult is so cringy. I don't even know why I said that twice. I was so disturbed I couldn't even put my words together. And then I said, Michael Chandler loves the vibes of this concert. Wonder if Elon's there. Dude, there was old motherfuckers going, Trump, Trump. Like, damn, dude. We really got a cult going on. And you look at the comments, everyone that is watching is calling him a loser. He is a fucking loser. I mean, that's just crazy, man. That shit reminded me of some, like, Jonestown type shit. That's fucking weird, man. They love that motherfucker. A lot of MMA fans do, too. It's fucking creepy. You guys are obsessed. Not you guys specifically, but I'm saying these people are obsessed with some weird old fuck who's saying crazy shit, seems like every day, and doing crazy shit every day. Fucking Tim's would get down on all fours and suck him off. Where are all the MAGA fighters? I think all of them are. Get Strickland and Colby on the card, man. You think Colby... I don't think Colby ever fights again, to be honest. I wish he would fight Gary. You know how bad Gary would butcher the fuck out of him. You see Donnie Shart in the Oval Office and it was like an emergency evacuation. I wish I was joking. I seen some tweets on it, but I didn't see it. It's myself. You think Chandler would actually give Dana a BJ to fight Conor? I feel like he would if the contract was on the table. He would just take Dana at his word. If Dana called Chandler in his office, he unbuckled his belt, he slid off his belt, unbuckled his pants, dropped his trousers, said, you want that Conor McGregor fight? Get to pleasing. Chandler would say, yes, sir. And he would start gulping him up. And that's not even satire, man. That's the sad reality of Chandler. He's so pathetic. I mean, his wife's filing for divorce soon. It's done. It's done, my friend. Fluffy will beat Ice Strickland. Yeah, Fluffy's going to beat Strickland for sure. I think so. I just can't believe they got bummy-ass Colby in the rankings. I can't believe they still got Colby in the rankings, but they took Shavkat out. Like, what the fuck? But that's the way it goes, man. You want Conor? Better be ready to... Whoa. Whoa. It's a done deal. What are we talking about? They hate fighters from the former Soviet nation, it seems. I don't even know if it's they hate them. A lot of fans do. But I think more of the UFC is just... There's a particular bias going on there. Chandler still ranks you at the bottom of the rankings. Dude, I hope they don't. I hope they get him out of the rankings soon. Let me go look at the rankings. Chandler is sitting at number 13. How is he in front of Manuel Torres and Farziem? Dude, he would get smoked. Thank God he ain't towards the top. Benoit Saint-Denis, top 5 now officially. How is Paddy Pimblett above Gamrot? Hoofy went up 5 spots at number 9. Excuse me. KJS, thank you for the 2 Australian. Chandler is 13 ranked. Hamzat's above Volk pound for pound. The rankings are garbage, but I don't really care too much about the pound for pound. It's like Volk based on what he's done, but I understand, like, you're like, damn, fuck, I think Hamzat beats everyone. Volk went up 1 above Alex Pereira. Piotr Jan should be above Alex Pereira. Marab should be above Alex Pereira. Can you imagine Marab at 205? They left Tai Tuivasa in the rankings the whole time. He was off. No consistency. How they have... Hold on. He's still in the rankings at 6-fight losing streak. Tai Tuivasa is number 15. I wonder what his highest ranking was. Let me see if I can search that. What was Tai Tuivasa's highest official UFC ranking? Where was he at? He was number 3. No fucking way he was number 3. Can someone fact check that? You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to go fact check that. I don't know how to search it up because you can't search on Paramount. Can someone check that for me? Apparently when he fought Derek Lewis, after he fought Derek Lewis, he was number 3. Dude was number 3 ranked. Jesus. Posting a St. Denis card, orange sapphire. I don't know what the fuck you're looking at. You think you would KO Joshua Fabia? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Paddy destroyed Chandler? I know. I think you should be removed from the rankings with over a year of inactivity, no fights booked. I'm okay with that. Damn, I wish they'd let me have Ty in his next fight, man, so I can just get a UFC win. I can brag about it for the rest of my YouTube career. Let me whoop up on Ty. I'd out wrestle him. Dude, Greg Hardy was going to beat him too. That's the craziest part. Greg Hardy was going to beat him. He drinks a beer out of a shoe, man. He's a fucking star, man. He drinks a beer out of a shoe. He's fucking cool. I'd like to see Chimaev Pereira on the White House card. That's a banger matchup. Love to see it. Tuivasa is for sure broke. Probably made decent money, but might need another job when he's done fighting. Oh, he's definitely going to. Most of these dudes do. You don't realize they're not making enough money. They don't make any fucking money, man. You guys think because you hear these like somewhat large numbers, you have to realize all the work that goes into that and the amount of expenses. Like even if they're getting paid $100 grand a fight, like it's not going to be all that much. And that what are they going to fight twice a year? Even if they make $200K for the year, even the guys earning a lot like Gaethje, unless they're investing that, a large portion of that, they're done. As soon as they fight careers over, they're fucked. You can't live all that shit. Unless you have a couple million invested by the time you're done with your fight career, you aren't living off of what you made in your fight career. Let's search that. So let's say the average career goes till 40. How much would you have to have invested by age 40 to retire and withdraw $150K per year to live on? Let's see. I bet you're going to say like 6 million or something. 5 million. 4%. So basically, the bare minimum you would need is close to 4 million. But realistically, you would want about $5 million. So you would need $5 million invested by age 40 to be safe, to not run out of money. And that's only living on $150K a year. So if they have a lavish lifestyle that then they retire from, so that's the thing, you're fighting, you're making all this money, boom, you're retired. You still got to pay for that house that's got like a $6,000 mortgage, $7,000 mortgage. You still got to pay for those cars. So most of these guys are probably going to need more than that. So let's say you need, let's say $250K. You're going to need double. You're going to need $10 million invested by the time you're 40 to straight up retire. People don't understand. I don't think a lot of people understand. They just think, oh, lots of money, $100,000, $200,000, $400,000. It's no. Unless you're hearing multi-millions, then you're fucked. And that's multi-millions invested, not just made. Volk making around $1 million at this point. I don't think Volk's getting paid $1 million a fight. Absolutely not. He's not. If you saw that, you're seeing fake numbers. Let me search that. Real disclosed Alexander Volkanovski purses. UFC purse. Legit source only. Let's take a look. His I guess so. I was thinking he probably got paid around $600,000. California State Athletic Commission apparently reported his purse for UFC 298 against Topuria was $750,000. Where'd you see $2.5 million? Dude, they're not. It was disclosed. California disclosed his purse. It was $750,000 for the Topuria fight. They're not getting paid millions. You guys are so detached. That's why people complain about the UFC pay. They're making a couple $100,000. Volkanovski's disclosed pay last year was $750,000 for the Topuria fight. What a fucking joke that is. And you got dumb motherfuckers like, dude, bro, they're getting paid $2.5 million easy. No, they're not. After taxes, how much is that? Yeah, so he's probably netting around 400 to 430, depending, give or take. So like, that's like what, 2 years on like a higher end salary? That's 2 years of like a regular person higher end salary. Yeah, expenses, training camp, all that stuff. So he's getting like 400K, probably 450 max. Expenses, this and that, and then that's only really 2 years of like upper income. Because you got to think about it, like decent, like well off income, depending on where you're from, would probably be about, I don't even know, is $200K a year? Like if his wife doesn't work, $200K a year isn't even that much. I hate to say it. Like, and that's what he's got. That's what he's got. He's got 2 years worth of income. Maybe. What do you mean could be a bit better for Australia? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the money's worth more. I don't know. I didn't get into all that. But yeah. 200K, I think, is not that great. The 700K upfront pay-per-view takes 60 days to roll in. If you're not trolling, this low-key hurts your credibility. Bro, you're literally a fucking idiot. You do realize you don't even know how pay-per-view works. I know how pay-per-view works. Ian Gary's weird for flexing that he injured Shavkat's knee. He's been talking about that forever. He's trying to advocate for himself to get a title shot. Y'all hate on Gary for anything. He did end Shavkat. I'm going to be real, 200K is low-key nothing. It's not that much. For risking your brain health? Fuck no. So explain to me wildlife, because now you're about to get blocked for pissing me off. How do pay-per-view points work? Explain to me how they work, because I know how they work, because I'm well researched, buddy. Explain to me how they work quickly. Hurry up! Don't Google it. I'm giving you like 30 seconds. Explain it quick. Exactly. You don't know shit. 200K salary wouldn't even get you to bank to look at you for a house in Australia. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. Well, I don't know specifically Australia, but you need to. If you make 200K in America, depending on where you live, that you can get a decent house for that. 200K isn't bad. 200K isn't bad for like 1 month, you know. Fighters have to pay their own doctor bills. They don't have no health care. They don't have no retirement plan. UFC should be given a cut of every event's payroll to a retirement plan for those guys. Australia's a dump. I don't know about that. Ty was 3 when he fought Gone. That's crazy, I know. 200K a year would be good if you didn't have brain damage and have to retire and be retired at 40. Thank you, Fries. Every time like you speak, usually I'm like, Fries at least gets it. I don't have to get into the explanation. Like 200, if Fries is 30 years old and he's making 200K a year at a regular job, that's damn good. But a job that you have to retire in a couple years and you have brain damage and probably can't work anywhere else, you're fucked. I own 1 bedroom basement in Australia. Costs $1 million. Are you serious? UFC in bed with Trump. I mean, haven't we known that for years, bro? The fans suck him off nonstop. It's annoying as fuck. It's a weird cult. It's a weird fucking cult. I don't know how motherfuckers be sucking off politicians like that. But it's the way it is. A retirement plan for them would be hard based off how many fighters they run, years of service, or fighters would have to determine by how many years Chandler sat out. Dude, they could easily do like portion of the payroll or portion of your payroll, your purse from a card. You can contribute up to X amount and we'll match it up to X amount per card you fight on. That's it. Boom. And maybe that percentage can go up based on your tenure. It's not that hard to figure. They're a big-ass company. They have billions of dollars. They can have someone figure it the fuck out for them. You can put up to 3% into your retirement that will match up to 3% if you've been here for over a year. If you've been here for over 3 years, we'll match up to 5% of your purse. Something like that. I mean, up until limits, you know. Dude, you're just such a dumb fuck. Lucrative pay-per-view. You know the pay-per-views, they're incentivized. The pay-per-view points only come in after a certain buy rate, and none of those pay-per-views are doing those buy rates. You know that, right? The pay-per-view points that everyone fucking points to is the biggest scam ever. They only kick in after a certain number, and most of the pay-per-views don't get to those numbers anymore. I'd be shocked if Volk got $100,000 from pay-per-views. And also, it's funny, yeah, because pay-per-views don't exist anymore. But it's crazy. People are saying, oh, pay-per-view this. Remember I did the math? Even on like 2 million pay-per-view buys, it's not even that much. Do you remember when I did that math, Fries? No news on Ilya Islam. Joe, I never understood why you defend Ian so much. He's not a good guy. Dude, you're such a dumb fuck, man. Get off his dick. You're a crybaby bitch that's been indoctrinated by propaganda against Gary. If you want to say he rubs you the wrong way, sure, he can rub you the wrong way. But man, he deserves to be hated. Like, he's done so much bad stuff. No, he hasn't. You guys are a bunch of crybaby fucking pussies. Crying about Gary. Gary wore a mugshot on a fucking t-shirt to promote a fight. Whoop-de fucking do. Gary used trash talk that was used against him to trash talk back. Whoop-de fucking do. Gary claimed victory against a fighter he barely lost to because he injured that fighter in the fight and they were out for a long time afterwards while making his case for a title shot. Whoop-de fucking do. You are a crybaby little fucking bitch. So, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a fucking bad guy. You guys don't get outside. I'm telling you, guys that aren't in the real world. You guys don't meet real people. You guys don't talk to real people. You fucking crybabies, man. It's like crazy. Like, go out and interact with people. So, Shavkat was already hurt going into the Gary fight. He didn't wreck him. He wrecked him. I mean, Gary's really good, but he's a decision merchant. Look who he's fighting, bro. Like, it's so annoying when dumb motherfuckers are like, man, he's such a decision merchant, blah, blah. He's fighting guys that literally never get finished and they're top of their game. If he was fighting bums like a lot of these guys. He is a bad guy for how he reacted to the Shavkat news. I mean, what was the exact reaction? It was one fucking tweet saying he deserves the title fight or some shit. I mean, crybabies. Fucking crybabies. Dude's the only guy to beat Protez, but now a decision isn't good enough. I know. Joey, it's okay to critique Gary once in a while. I just don't. You guys are crying. Like, Jesus. And it just goes to show Robin doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about because Mavsar does have pro finishes. Man, it just shows what a casual Robin is. He'll suck on Ilia Taporia's dick 24/7. He would let him fuck him up the ass left and right. But he cries about, man, bro, you don't got a single pro finish, bro. That's not even true, you dumb fuck. It's just crazy. I swear some of you guys are rage baiting me. Just saying things that are blatantly untrue as fact. It's crazy. His last few wins are Bilal, Protez, Neal, MVP. Dude is legit. Yeah, look up how many times those guys were finished in their entire career. Joey, if Chandler ever did what Gary's doing, you'd be all over him. I don't understand. If Chandler did what specifically? And there's nothing. If Chandler was winning, is Gene Silva considered an industry plant? Partially. Oh, now it's pro UFC career. You know those two things aren't exclusive, right? It's pro career and it's UFC career. There's no such thing as a pro UFC career. Remember when Ilya said Bilal has never finished a man and woman in his life? Yeah, I think the same thing's for Ilya, man. That's why his wife left him. And now he can't fight because he's too busy brokenhearted about it, Robin. So why don't you go comfort him by going to his house and giving him your asshole? Matter of fact, he's got to sell the house, so you might not even be able to do that. Go to the cardboard box or motel or something. Man, it's crazy how Gary beat the fuck out of Protez and fucked up Shavkat too. And I knew that shit. People called me a contrarian when I said Gary was legit. When I said Gary was legit and he would whoop Shavkat, I told you, give me my victory lap. Give me my victory lap. What's up, VT? I hope you're doing okay. Unpopular opinion, but Ilya is the most overrated fighter on the roster. I don't know if he's the most overrated, but he is overrated. And privilege is fault. He's manufactured. Ilya, in a certain sense, is a manufactured UFC star. Manufactured champion in a way. I said Shavkat retired 2 streams. I've been saying that for a while. Dude, Prates never even hurt Gary. And I'll die on that hill. And I would take that to a court of law tomorrow and I would argue it. Shavkat never, Prates never even hurt Gary. I would take that to a court of law in front of a jury of 12 of my peers. And I swear on my life, I would win that case. But you don't pay attention. You just go whatever the commentary says. You suck them off, and that's it. W. DeWalt, thank you for the $4.99. The UFC's a $1 billion mob. That's a fact. They run that shit like a mob. It's embarrassing. Dana's a fucking clown, man. Dana's a clown. They're all clowns. And the fans eat the shit up. What's insane to me is the fact that Gary's better than Ilia Topuria but doesn't get anywhere near close to the hype because people are like, I don't like Gary's wife, so he's not good. He would smoke Topuria. He would make Topuria his bitch. If they were in jail, Topuria would be holding his pocket. Joey, that is stupid. What do you mean Ian beat up Shavkat and lost up elevating guys off a loss? I do agree. People underrate it. Where have I elevated Gary off a loss? I said he would beat the fuck out of Shavkat, and he did beat up Shavkat. He got off some good damage on Shavkat. That's not elevating him when I picked him beforehand because I believed in him. Go look at my video. I believe Gary's been a future champion for a long time. So how could I possibly elevate him? Like, these dumb fucks think they can use my argument against me, and it does not work. But it just goes to show me when I give them a reaction to it, they have nothing to say. They don't understand it. Elevating a guy off a loss is thinking a guy is shit. Then when he fucking loses against an elite level fighter, but he overachieves and he over-delivers, then people elevate him off a loss. Colby versus Usman, elevated off a loss. Alexander Gustafsson versus John Jones, elevated off a loss. Me saying Gary's a future champion before the Shavkat fight, well before the Shavkat fight, and then him going out there and competing with Shavkat when everyone said he would get ran through is not elevating him off a loss. Having losses to top contenders is a bad thing now. I don't even know what you're reacting to. Yeah, people don't do any research. The 50K fight night bonus is all the evidence you need to call UFC a racketeering scam. It's a pyramid scheme, bro. $25 million an event just from Paramount alone. Just from Paramount alone. I still can't believe they had Merab, Sugar, and Umar all in the same card. Terrible planning. Only benefit is Dana. Sugar win. Merab lost. They wasted a fight for Umar and tried to hide him. Did they have Merab, Sugar, and Umar all in the same card? What's crazy? What is crazy, my friend? What is crazy? Is there a Joey Discord? Yeah, if you become a member, second tier member. Gene Silva went to decision with Allen, and then they whined that Mavsar didn't finish him. And Mavsar hurt him bad, too. Haven't been able to watch the fight because you have lymphoma. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I hope everything's getting better. That's wild, bro. I'm sorry to hear. You celebrate participation trophies for Gary like Colby did with Usman. It's not even close to being true. Chandler was at the same gym as Ian Gary with Henry Hoof. Chandler supposedly beat that bum in sparring every day. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that very, very, very. Yeah, you got me convinced, bro. You convinced me. I am beyond convinced right now. You got me wholeheartedly convinced. I'm in remission now, Joey. I was explaining because someone asked. That's all. No problem, bro. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you're all right. Good to see you back in chat. Whoever is exciting in the cage or any fighter Dana likes are getting the next title shot. Whoever Dana really likes is getting the next title shot. That's basically the way it goes. We're about to see Gene Silva get a title shot. I just talked about that in my Volkanovski video. I talked about it in my Volkanovski video because I can already see him pointing in that direction. I think they might even mentioned it to Volkanovski behind the scenes. I really do. Damn, the UFC took down the video of Volk checking the kicks. That's crazy. That was a great video. People be using the dumbest arguments tonight. Joe, you developed a bias against Ilya ever since Chael and Ariel said Islam ran away. Dude, that's crazy. I don't even think about it like that. O'Malley already teasing him and Jan. O'Malley, I can't wait to see him gone from the sport, man. He's such a fucking clown. He doesn't have what it takes. He's a spoiled little bitch. Joey, do you think you have bias towards certain fighters? I mean, I think, of course, everyone has some type of bias, but it doesn't. My bias is clear, and it does not affect my analysis of real situations. You know, I could say Chandler's a fucking bitch, but if Chandler said something that was accurate in facts, I can easily agree with it and say that that's facts. You know, if Gary clearly lost the fight, clearly got finished, and started making up a bunch of excuses Jamal Hill style, I would literally make videos calling him out for it. But you can believe what you want, man. You guys can believe what you want. It is what it is. Yeah, Robin's not a serious person. He just likes to fuck off. He just likes to fuck off. Only 40. I know it's getting real bummy around here. We got a bummy month. We got to get to it, man. We got a bummy month and a half. We don't have a good fight until March. But that's the way it is. Jeez, UFC Fight Night, Mexico City is straight up garbage, bro. Sean the Crackhead O'Malley. Thank you for the $1.99, basically. Sean the Crackhead O'Malley. He looks like a prostitute. I enjoy your take on the sport for what it's worth. Thank you. Where dudes don't even actually care if a fighter gets finishes. It's just for their argument. Yeah. Yeah, when Ilya has great KO power, but when Islam takes him down and tires those midget arms, Ilya won't have... Islam beats Taporia, but I'd like to see it. If I said O'Malley hasn't finished anyone in the rankings, they would say it doesn't matter. I know. It's just a made-up crutch, man. It's just a made-up fucking crutch. You're like, man, you're not getting finishes, bro? You're not getting fucking finishes, bro? Like finishes are the end-all, be-all. I mean, what a joke. What a legit fucking joke. Yeah, O'Malley doesn't have a single finish in the current bantamweight rankings. Why is he going to get a title shot? Hasn't finished a single guy in the current bantamweight rankings. I mean, it's crazy. Movsar has 0 finishes in the UFC. Yeah, because he's fighting elite opposition, unlike guys like Topuria. If Movsar was fighting washed up bums like Topuria, then he would have a lot of finishes. Dude, if Movsar was fighting literal washed up hand-me-downs, he would have finished them too. You know, not everyone could get hand-picked opponents like Topuria. I like Joey too. I actually met up with him one time. We got dinner together and he paid for the entire bill. That's true. You're welcome. Sugar has 7 walk-off highlight KOs. How many of those are in the rankings right now? How many of those are in the UFC? Matter of fact. Matter of fucking fact. How many of those are in the UFC? Let's take a look, see. Sugar Sean O'Malley. I never hear the finish argument when it comes to Sean Strickland. So he finished Aljamain Sterling, fluke early stoppage, a malnourished Aljo, who's no longer in the division. He finished Halian Paiva. He finished Chris Montino. Damn. He finished Eddie Wineland. He finished Jose. O'Malley has 0 UFC finishes. O'Malley has 0 UFC bantamweight finishes. And you can run and tell that, brother. 1 finish in the entirety of the UFC for O'Malley. 1 finish in the entirety of the UFC for Sean O'Malley. And that's against a guy who was put up. Who was literally put up to lose. Isn't that wild, man? Sean O'Malley has 0 UFC finish or 1 UFC finish in his entire career. Been in the UFC forever. Has 1 UFC finish. Imagine being in the UFC since 2020 and you got 1 UFC finish. That shit's humiliating, man. Montino win was kind of embarrassing considering he's garbage. Yeah, and that shouldn't even count as a finish. That was an early stoppage. Is anybody going to say anything about O'Malley only having 1 real UFC finish? Anybody? You see how that argument can work? Dude, Francis did not no-show events. They were very happy with the way Francis promoted PFL Africa. That's what they said publicly. So it is what it is. It's crazy. Francis got scammed by PFL. You know that, right? That's the craziest thing. Francis actually kind of got done dirty by PFL. He's been begging for fights, and they haven't given him fights. So they basically did the same thing UFC did. Nobody talks about it. Nobody cares. Oh, man, this is a common theme with Francis. I'm just pissed that Ilya ran from Movsar, man. What's your best, worst take of the year? I don't know. Paddy was going to beat Justin's my worst take of the year. Best take of the year? That Sean O'Malley was going to lose the Song Yadong. Sugar doesn't have a single bantamweight UFC KO. Sean O'Malley has 0 bantamweight UFC KOs. Come on. Debate me. Prove me wrong. Bet you can't. Prove me wrong. Bet you can't. I'm waiting for it. Francis didn't show up for like one event with 0 African people when he showed up for other ones. There's pictures. I did it in video talking about it. There's pictures of it. There's tweets from PFL. Everything's there, but you don't care because you just don't like Francis. Probably because you're a racist, honestly. I feel like that's what most of the people are. Luke Thomas rotates guests now every Friday for Morning Combat. You should go in there with him, Joey. He said he would collab with you again. When did he say that? Yeah, we'll collab again at some point. I would go on a show. I don't know if he would want me on a show, though. I'm a little bit too controversial for these dudes. You know? I'm a little bit too controversial. Too controversial. Too controversial. I'm not even saying that right. Controversial. Brother, you need to hit the old proverbial dusty road. Yeah, you said that wrong, but old dusty proverbial road. Man, Strickland's so fucking based, man. I don't care about his jab and teep. He's based. He's fucking based, man. I don't care that Strickland never finishes anybody. He's fucking based, bro. He's so damn based. Hey, can anyone tell me if Sean O'Malley has more than one UFC finish, 0 UFC bantamweight finishes, and 1 UFC finish in 6 years being in the UFC? I mean, what a joke. 1 UFC finish. When did he say he would collab again? Did you ask him about that recently or something? I've talked to him here and there randomly. He seemed like he was down. You want a Joey Oscar Willis collab? Shut the fuck up. Can't wait for another Chandler video tomorrow. I'll think about it. I don't want to know. Paddy's ranked number 6. I know. He doesn't even belong in the top 10. I think Fair ZM would beat the fuck out of him. You can't really say anything wild when you collab if you speak facts. That's true. That is true. I'm a facts speaker. I am a facts speaker. I do speak facts. I always have. Fry's been around since 1K. He knows the truth. He knows the truth. Guys, like the stream. 45 likes. Do we really get like 50, 60 haters in here? That's wild. Abu's got dog walk. Fluffy might be next. I doubt it. Right. Fluffy negative 250. Sounds about right. Thoughts on Bummy Weirdo? Is he even still does he still do content or he already pack it in? I'm assuming he probably packed it in by now. That dude's such a bum, man. That dude's such a bum and a little fucking effeminate cucky vibes. Hi, Joe. What's up? Nurmagomedov, what's going on, man? I'm a D1 hater. Shut up. Shut up, Josh. I try to get you dates. What are you talking about? It's just crazy O'Malley only has 1 UFC KO. Isn't that crazy, Fries? Maybe you get more hate than I realize, but I don't see anyone trashing you. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just the Twitter world. Hey, Joey, is YouTube your only job or do you have a 9 to 5? I do not have a traditional 9 to 5, but YouTube is not my only job. It's nuts. I got something worse than a 9 to 5 to deal with. Why does Ian Gary always say he'll knock his opponents out and then fight to a decision? I mean, that's literally every fucking fighter everywhere. And ask what's his name? Ask the Asian dude if he said that and didn't do it. Who remembers when some scrub in Colby's Twitch said he named his son after Colby? What a beta. I forgot about that. I put that in the video. Thank you, Andy, for the 32 months of membership. Shout out to Andy for the 32 months of membership. O'Malley KO's wins were in the UFC at the time that matters. O'Malley has one UFC KO. O'Malley has one UFC KO. Only 32 months, man. I think it's time for you to go to hit the road, Andy. Join another Discord, man. I'm calling ice. That other Discord call ice on you. I guess it's about time to hit the old dusty track. I'm tired as hell. I didn't get my nap today. Don't let me catch Andy around here, man. AKG Town. I'll have to call ice on him. Get my bonus. Get my reward. Man, is anyone going to prove me wrong? O'Malley has one UFC finish. No title shots for him. One UFC finish. I mean, what an embarrassment. Pathetic embarrassment. Cuck, beta, effeminate, cucky vibes. When I'm getting my consultant for over the 50 months of membership, I mean, that'll be tomorrow, bro. The fuck you are, Joey Pleasure Us. Whoa. I'm touring the White House next week. Henry Cejudo posted some video like he was touring the White House. What a fucking weird joke. I'm sure 500 he will stay. Chill. I don't think I can stay tonight. At least not for a long period of time. Joe, you have to do a Tim Welch video. What did Tim Welch do? Why do you call people cucks all the time? Ain't that for right-wing bozos most of the time? Didn't think you were. Is cuck right-wing? I didn't know that one. Maybe it is, man. Beta soy boy cucks. You know what's so funny, man? If you know the origin of the beta male soy boy cuck insults, you would know how fucking funny that shit is. Because the real answer, and maybe cuck does fall into that, the beta male soy boy stuff is me just regurgitating the weirdo insults. And they get heated when you throw it back at them. I'll be like, dude, what are you, a cuck? You a beta? Yeah, those words, dude, I cringe hearing people say that unironically. You know I say that sarcastically, right? What's crazy is there's probably a lot of people that don't realize, because I've been doing it for a while. I say beta male. I say beta male soy boy. Like, as satire. I was with one of my buddies earlier tonight, and he said, dude, we got to start a note of all our inside jokes. I'm not talking about the channel. I'm talking about me and him. He said we got to start a note because of all our inside jokes. We got so many fucking inside jokes, it's not even funny. But when we text, we'll just go back and forth over the course of like a couple days. It's nothing but inside jokes. Like, I wish I could read them to you, but it makes no sense. It would make no sense to you. Let me see if I can read a couple. You won't get them, but I could still read them. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see what I got here. Nah, I can't read these. I don't have any ones really good, too good. What time you want to go? I said no, that's not good. Yeah, none of them are good. It's just not even funny reading them. because you won't get them. But they were hilarious. I was laughing about them earlier. Hopefully Chandler can get Talbot at 155 if he can't get McGregor so he can beat the gay. Okay, that's a little bit extreme. Let's pump the brakes on that one. There's a new Chandler video, him saying he wants to BMF at the White House. He finally gave up on Conor. Yeah, he said, I got my eye on the BMF. I got my eye on the BMF. How do I join the Discord? I'm a sycophant. Comment on one of the members only live streams and I'll send you a link. Like in the comment section so I can see it later. Like the stream. Shout out to the one who vapes, man. Shout out to the one who vapes. The real mod around here. Give me the PMF. All right, boys, I'm getting out of here. I'm tired as hell. It's getting late. I need to get to bed. I'm exhausted. Chandler wants to fight at the White House. He's the defending PMF. Yeah, nothing. No loss could ever cost him that bout anyway. Anyway. I'm out of here. The Stars and Bars and the Jefferson County Javelins. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Hopefully I'm back on my grind tomorrow. I got a lot of shit to do. Good night. I thank you guys for joining me so late. I'll try to be earlier tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.